What's going on, wrestling fans? Welcome into Near Falls with D Hall, a wrestling podcast, episode number 71. In today's episode, we are going to be talking about and with a bunch of different college coaches from across the area at the Division 1, 2, and 3 level. Super excited to release this, guys. It's been a lot of work, a lot of fun talking to all these different coaches from around the area. Super excited to get into it. But if you haven't already, go back, check out my long form interviews that I released this summer. Joe Marcara, Mackenzie McGuire, Ty McGeary, and just recently Rob Walker, who I just sat down with, episode number 70. That was a lot of fun. Yeah, go back and check out those long form episodes. I really enjoyed having those guys over. And coaches, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me, taking time out of your busy schedule this time of year. I know it's a lot, sitting down and talking about your squad. But yeah, man, a lot of fun. I hope you guys enjoy this edition of the NCAA preview, brought to you by Switch Custom Apparel. Okay, joining me next on the call, assistant coach of Clarion University, my good buddy, Brock Zackrell. How are you, sir?
I'm doing good, Donnie. Nice to catch up with you. I'm excited to dive into all this stuff.
Oh, dude, I'm super pumped up. Obviously, you've been on my show a few times. You're one of the veterans of the Near Falls with D Hall podcast. I'm pumped about it, and always, you're one of my favorites to talk to. But yeah, man, let's dive right into it. We have so much to talk about, but how did the offseason go, or how is the offseason going for you guys?
It's going good. We do things like a little flip flop. We do a little freestyle circuit, hit U23s hard, and then we really don't bug the guys. We send them home and don't. A lot of guys stayed in town this summer, which I was really proud of. But my focus is like, dude, if you don't love what you're doing and you're not enjoying the sport and you're not healthy and happy, is kind of what we say all the time, you're not going to get the most out of yourself. So we really like to leave them alone, let them get that time off, and then hit the ground running once school starts. So it's been good. It's been slow, but a lot of guys trying new things. We got a lot of new crazy stuff that we're working on that, we're excited, and it's all been going well. So everything's good.
All right, buddy. I got to get into it right off the rip. Man, big transfers coming in this year. A lot of Whippeal presence, as we talked about last year. You kind of started to cultivate that crop, if you will, of Whippeal guys. But really broke through some of these Whippeal slash OMP guys. Alejandro, Ryan Sullivan. You got Kutch member already on the roster. Just talk about these transfers that you've brought in, highlighting obviously in Alejandro Herrera Rondon.
Yeah, I think the three Whippeal guys we had transfer in. I guess I'll start from lightest to heaviest, and Ryan Sullivan coming in. He's been. I've been so impressed with his presence. Like, he immediately came in, and was a leader and mentor to all these guys, and it was just incredible to me to know his kind of journey and how he's kind of all the things that he's went through. To see him come in and just immediately welcome everybody as family, and he's totally bought in. He's totally supportive of us and what we're trying to do, and he's been like an amazing mentor for everyone. I even pick his brain a lot about how we should do things, and it's just been a real blast so far. Then Alejandro, same thing. I didn't really know what to expect. I've known Alejandro for a really long time, since he was a little kid, and just talking to him through the recruiting process, I really felt like the way he thought and his philosophies and how he thought about wrestling, it just lined up. We let guys be creative. We build on what makes them unique. And he has been really excelling with that, talking through him and talking to him about some stuff. I can see he's a little surprised every time I ask him, well, what do you think? And letting him kind of take control of his training and the style he wants to paint himself as a wrestler has been awesome. And to see the kind of the route he's going, and he looks amazing in the room. He looks like a real stud, and he's a guy that I definitely expect to be contending for.
Where do you think he's going to be at? What weight?
He's going to be at 57.
Love
Yeah,
that.
and I'll be honest, when he first came on campus and he told me that, I thought, no freaking way. But yeah, he's down to weight already. It's pretty easy for him, actually. So, which is good. And then heavyweight, I think this is going to be a real sleeper for some guys. He's really impressed me. We got a real good situation at heavyweight. I'm not sure exactly how it's going to pan out. We got two really, really good guys in Austin Chapman and now John Myers. And he's from Greensburg and transferred in from Seton Hill. And he's just really, really impressed me. He had a good run out at U23s, but like he's a heavyweight that loves wrestling. And I think it's really rare. So he's just always asking the right questions. He's always trying to get better. And, it's going to take some time, but I think, March rolls around, heavyweight's a weight that I'm really confident that we're going to do well in this year. So all three of those transfer guys, it's a little ambitious, but I think they all have, I definitely expect all three of them to be at nationals and, fighting for spots on those podiums, if not winning the whole damn thing. So I just have a lot of confidence in those guys.
Love that. All right. Next question I have for you. We've talked about your transfers that you brought in. You've obviously had some really nice high school guys come in through the WIPIO, Joey Fisher, Patrick Kutch member, to name a few. Even in the last few years, right, since COVID, the recruiting has changed so much since you were being recruited, since now when you just started coaching to even now, right? How do you guys set your process up? Are you guys trying to go after more high school guys? You going after transfers, or is it a little bit in between? What's that look like for you guys?
Man, that is a great question. I think the one thing that I can just get out of the way easy, we want the world to look at us as WIPIO U. We want every WIPIO.
Love that. Let's go.
We want it. We have had shirts designed. We haven't pulled the trigger or anything yet, but we want to be known as WIPIO U. The guys, they fight so dang hard. They ask the tough questions and they love wrestling. And, we've just seen it so many times now. Even guys that aren't the best in the WIPIO, they come here and they're getting the nationals. And that's what we want. So, but as far as the process goes, it's really just finding people that have the same kind of values that we do and approach to wrestling. Like we do things way different. We don't kill our guys. My main focus, like I kind of alluded to earlier, is healthy and happy. My goal is to get the most out of everyone I work with. Simple as that. And I cannot do that if you're not healthy and happy. So I know talking to a lot of coaches that, they're beating guys up right now. They're doing the postseason thing, getting guys in shape. And I'll be totally honest with you, it's just not really our priority. We're kind of getting guys through a curriculum, teaching them the positions of wrestling. And yeah, maybe we'll be a little out of shape at the Clarion Open or for the first duel or two. But especially last year, you saw it really pay off for our guys in the postseason. Everybody, we had two guys that were like the last seeds at NCAAs, and John Worthing went 2-2, and in my opinion, was wrestling like a guy that could AA. And then obviously, we had a great run in Feld Camp, and it pays off. So we're just looking for guys that kind of believe in that system, and whether or not they're a transfer high school kid is just doesn't really matter so much to us as that.
You're on mute, Donnie. You were muted, bub.
My bad. That's the first mess up. Sorry about that. That's an easy edit though. All right. So you talk about those guys, specifically Will Feldkamp getting AA last year, and you're talking about your schedule. How do you build that, and what does that look like to build those guys? You said you're not really worried about the Clarion Open, more the national tournament, right? Mm-hmm. How do you build your tournament, or how do you build your schedule for that tournament?
We really just kind of talk through, and we've talked about this a lot. Our goal is to use our schedule as a tool to get the nationals. So, there's a formula, and I'm not going to bore everyone to death with the formula, but I mean, I'm as geeky as I get with everything. Like
I love that.
I was a business guy, got my MBA, and became a whiz with Excel and just all the numbers and stuff. We kind of crunch them and just do our best to provide our guys with the best chance to get to NCAA. So, that's getting them the win percentage, getting them the RPI, which is the difficulty in schedule, and we're testing some stuff. We're getting really close as far as like what we think's best, but it becomes a real science as far as getting those win percentages and risk to go into tournaments, because you get more matches there, and big time matches like the Big Ten. We got a lot of Big Ten guys on our schedule and are working on some things, and but yeah, that's just we use our schedule as a tool to get to nationals, and that's just constantly what we're thinking as we go through that.
Awesome. Okay, next couple questions I have for you. Obviously, you're the assistant. Is Coach Ferraro, I'm assuming, still leading the squad out there? What's the coaching staff look like?
Yep, he's still leading the squad, and then we got so it's Coach Ferrero's the head coach, me as the assistant, Nick Deloy is an assistant, and then we just recently brought on Evan DeLong, who is a local guy. He's a national qualifier for Clarion and a former state champ for Kane High School back in the day. So fellow D9 guys, just another guy that knows the system. We know he's going to work hard, and he's been really great for our guys. He scraps and can wrestle with the heavyweight guys, and it's been really helpful.
All right. Streaming, where can we find your matches this year?
I believe they'll be on Rockfin. We kind of do a couple of different things, and the Rockfin route we really enjoy just because we set it up for free. So like you don't have to have like a paid Rockfin account to view it. We have a tip system that has worked well. I mean, we're not generating tons of money, but it's just enough to keep the fans kind of engaged and give them a nice little option.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Okay. Next question I have for you. Women's wrestling, obviously it's exploding. It's everywhere. What's that look like for Clarion?
Man, I don't know. We would obviously love to see it here. I guess like the only thing that we would want is a lot of schools are just jamming it in. And they're getting it, which I think is great. But like, if you're going to get women's wrestling, I think you need to treat it as a priority and give them their own things. Like, I think it's a disservice to start a women's program and just throw it in. My wife, she played soccer here at Clarion, and there's one kind of field. She would practice at 9 p.m. And, quite frankly, I just don't think that's right. So if we can get them their own facility, their own, just so they don't have to be practicing at 5 in the morning or 9 at night to work in the class schedule and stuff, I think it would be great. And obviously something we would love to do, but, still kind of working out the kinks as far as that goes.
Okay, brother. Next question I have for you. Wrestle-offs, what's that look like for you guys? You guys in front of a crowd? You in-house? What's that look like?
Yeah, it should be. I believe it's on October 26th. This is Thursday. I believe it will be streamed on Rockfin, and it's going to be great. There's some really great matchups and a lot of deep weights, 57 especially. 65 is a deep weight. 33 is a bloodbath. There's going to be a lot of really fun matches at the blue and gold, like definitely more so than years past.
All right, brother. Anyone or anything that you want to shout out before I leave you go?
I guess the three staples of my life: my guys, my staff, and my girls back home. So my guys, they believe, they don't complain, and we do some crazy stuff, and we definitely approach things from a different angle. And they've just been always supportive, and same with the coaching staff. I'm an ideas guy, and I have some crazy ones, and I guess the thing I like the most is they're willing to step up and tell me when I'm being crazy. And
I love that.
Yeah, the girls back home. There's two wild women now keeping me in line. And
that's right, baby. You had a little one. Congratulations, man.
She's cool. She's so cool. She can't even talk yet, but she's real cool. She comes to lift with me, so she's a big part of the team already.
Has 50 uncles, right?
Yeah, right.
Or big brothers.
They were lifting the other day, and I was like, she's got like a little play weight, and she was doing it. And I told the guys, I was like, hey, she lifted so hard today, she crapped her pants. Did any of you guys do that? And so she's a hard worker already.
That's incredible stuff, Brock. I'm going to leave you off on that. I love it. One thing I am going to tell you, I'm doing Tuesday shows this year. So I would love for you to come back on a Tuesday and just kind of BS about the squad and talk about, WPIAL wrestling a little bit.
Anytime. There's nothing more I love to talk wrestling, and nothing more I love to talk than WPIAL wrestling. So anytime, just let me know.
Man, you're really pulling my heartstrings. I love that. Thanks, brother. I appreciate you.
Yep. Nice seeing you guys.
Later.